Hi folks, I'm going to share with you my beautiful design team project that I came up with and created for Country Craft Creations. I was gifted for my design team this beautiful Imagine paper from Authentique, and also a really cute sticker sheet, which I only used a few. I actually used the tickets here, the Carousel tickets, and it's called Imagine, and it's all carousel themed. And so in my mind, I thought, you know, I need to build a carousel. So I did a lot of research, and I couldn't find a vertical carousel, anything, to even get inspired by. So what I was inspired by was a Tim Holtz rounder that had like the little, you know, pages you could stick in. And I thought, oh, I'll find one of those. I could not find one, and I wasn't going to buy one online because I don't really, you know, they're kind of expensive. And I thought, why couldn't I build one myself? But I wanted it to spin, so I thought, okay, so maybe let's find a Lazy Susan. So what I did was I built my gussets and my hinges just the same as I would my mini albums. And I built it in a long sheet. And what I did was I took a ribbon tooling spool that was this long. Sorry if I can't get in there. It's so big that I need to have a different angle to show you. I took a ribbon spool that was about this long. It had tooling on it, and it was about this big around, which was about 2.5 inches in circumference. But it was heavy duty. It was heavy duty like a chipboard spool instead of a, you know, I couldn't have used a paper towel roll. And so I thought, that's perfect. So I built my pages, which I don't normally decorate my pages before I put them on, but I did. And I created the whole entire strip, and I just wrapped them around the ribbon spool. That left the top and the bottom. Now, this little piece that you see here, which I will get it close to you. Do you see that? This piece right here is an actual cake base topper, just this little plastic cake base. And it was two-tiered. It had a smaller piece and this actually went to the bottom, but I flipped it upside down and used the cardstock to do that. And then, of course, my friend Lucretia found me the most beautiful carousel horse. And it was a whole bunch of different colors. It was similar, but not quite. I just whitewashed it and used beautiful mint and pink trims to accent it. Let's see if I can't zoom in so you can see that a little closer. Is that not beautiful? And then here's some of that cardstock. I used some ribbon trim and pearls. The pearls were a last-minute add-on. My mom was so cute, and she said, well, it needed to look like it had lights. You know, carousels have lights. So I went ahead and added the pearls on last. So then what I did was I found the Lazy Susan. I went to Goodwill, and I found the Lazy Susan this is sitting on, but the mechanisms didn't spin like these ones do. I got lucky today and found 3 more. So I have 3 more 10-inch Lazy Susans, because now that I've made this, I just foresee myself making lots and lots more. And so I took the ribbon spool, glued the base to here, and then glued the ribbon spool down to the base after, of course, I covered and did cardstock. And then on the bottom, right here, I used, because it didn't have the mechanism that spinned, it would still spin if I had a base, so I put a candle holder there. A pretty heavy-duty solid one, because I really wanted it to fully spin. And it spins. So I'm just so excited to share this with you. It actually spins better if you hold the base down, obviously, and I didn't want to WD-40 it. It is an older base, because I just didn't want to ruin the paper. But we are going to get into how I did this. So, of course, you've seen the topper. I used some paper here and some trim, and then in my kit came this beautiful lace and some seam binding. I only used the pink seam binding and this lace. I ended up using itty-bitty teeny-tiny seam binding I had in my stash to create these cute little paper clip embellishments, which I'm really excited about. Let me see if I can't get that away from there. We go. Okay. Now, paper was beautiful. In between each of my gussets, I used this really pretty rope trim. And I really like the rope trim because it just gives that feel of the carousel. I hope you can see that. So each page, there's 13 pages. 2 are kind of next to each other, 2 of these little flip outs, but that's just because of the way that I did the 5/8 inch gussets. If I would have done this again, I would have done a 1/4 inch gussets just because. But I didn't want to over embellish the pages because it's going to be heavy, and because it sits vertical, I didn't want these top pieces to be so heavy that they fall forward and break. So every other page you'll see here is pink polka dot and blue polka dot. And then on this side you see florals and stripes, florals and stripes. and so on and so forth. There are cut-aparts in here and stickers, so just you wait. Okay, so here is a blank page you can do a photo, and then here are these cute little clothespins, or paper clips. You know, my mom was telling me to repeat paperclip over and over, and I kept saying clothespins anyway. So you flip this open, and here's a tuck spot with one of the cut-aparts from the collection, and then right here it says admit one. It's a beautiful little carousel ticket, and then you close it, and then the paper clip closes it. So when it spins, all these little ribbons spin with it. So we'll get to these 2 pages here, blank, and then these are the tags. And I created little tags, and I put the seam binding down so it just folded over because it didn't look right sticking up. So I just kind of liked it and left it that way. Again, with the paper clip, and another one of the beautiful cut-aparts from Authentique. Isn't that gorgeous? And another really pretty carousel ticket. I just love this. So every page is the same like that, but the cut-aparts are the only thing different in the little carousel tickets. How beautiful these are. And I just love that it still has that little hidden element of pretty. You know, when you open it and you see it, it's just gorgeous. I thought that was really pretty. Again, with another tag. All the tags are identical. They're pink on one side and stripey on the other. Like I said, the only thing different are the cut-aparts. Isn't that just beautiful? And it's a usable album. It holds up to 45 photos. And it does spin. Look how pretty. It says, "This is a race, and everyone is a winner." Isn't that gorgeous? So I'm really, really, really pleased with this. I don't want to show, kind of hard to hold it, but I did mat the base. And here's where I used Tamara's lace, some of my own stash, and then all these beautiful flowers right here. And then the carousel part, which I did glossy accent, just to make it shiny. And when you look at it, you can see the carousel topper and then the carousel horse, and then it spins. And it holds. See how all the ribbons just frill? I'm just so pleased with this. I had so much fun building this, and I'm hoping that how I described it could definitely help you build your own. Like I said, I just tiered it. Ribbon spool, but it was a tooling spool. You know, it was about 6 inches. Actually, it was exactly 6 inches. And then I did a topper, did the horse, and then attached it to a Lazy Susan. Now, I think anybody could build this. If you know how to build mini albums, you know how to do the pages, and you would know how to build that part of it. And yes, you can. Once you do your gussets, it just rolls around into a circle, perfect circle anyway. So, oh my gosh, folks, you know, this just turned out so pretty, and I had to share it with you. I hope you all love it, because I did. And now I want to make wedding ones and birthday cake ones and fancy baby ones, you know, with little pink shoes for a girl's room or little boy's shoes. And how fun would this be to have as a decoration in your home, as well as a usable, functionable piece to hold photographs in. This is just darling. And so I'm really excited to share it with you. I hope y'all love it. And now that my finger's finally healed, I actually cut the tip of my finger off. That's why I didn't do a tutorial, because I was going with one hand and that would have taken for hours to video. So I will be back probably Wednesday with a tutorial on a card for my team. But this I had to share with you now that it is complete and finished. And I'm just going to zoom down so you can get some of the closer up looks of this. And I'm going to zoom up so you can see just how gorgeous this carousel is. Isn't that beautiful? And the papers are just divine. I mean, they really are. See, you can just spin it. I'm just super pleased with this. And I hope you all love it. I hope you all love it, because I really had a good time building this. All right, folks, thank you so much for letting me share this with you today. And definitely check out countrycraftcreations.com for all of your scrapbooking needs and wonderful glue. And definitely check out the Facebook group called Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations, which I will link both below in the description box. In that group, I have better close-up photos of this. So if you join the group, you'll be able to see all of my actual projects a little bit better and up close into photographs. And there's free tutorials from all the design team and other ladies as well. So it's a lot of fun. You get a lot of use out of that group. So thanks, folks, for stopping by, and have a blessed day.